Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning. Check out your boy, P-Funk, Thinking Right, back on YouTube, out here on my deck doing what I do for you. You know how I do it. Tonight, right is 25 Rule to Live By. Storytelling, story with a message and a story for life. These are life lessons, and this is another one, something near and dear to my heart, okay? First of all, you got to do the right thinking mission statement. It states right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, getting you to know who you are, so to speak. You know what I do for you. All right, right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's important. Okay? Next one is we got the question. Do you really know who you are? Know thyself question is a person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish. Don't be them. Okay, it's a bunch of them. A person who knows not and know that they know not is simple. I can teach you. Tune in. I got you. That's what I do this for. You guys. A person who knows not and believes that they know, dangerous. I got to let you go. A person who knows and knows not that they know is sleep. Wake up. This is your boy. The spiritual alarm clock. Time to get up. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. Yeah, I know the way. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. All these persons reside in you, and you know the deal. Know thyself, and to yourself and Maya always be true. Why? That's how you get to have the God experience. God only come to those who are honest and truthful with themselves. So today's lesson is, right thinkers, let's talk about your God experience. Have you had one? And if you did, what'd you do about it? Let's talk about it. Hope you enjoy this lesson. It's gonna be fun. Here you go. Everybody experience God differently, but it's all the same thing. God is God is God. How you experience Him and how somebody's experience Him will be different, but it's still God. If you learn to master yourself, God will let you know. All I was doing was, what I thought was living right, doing the right thing, and I got a tap on the shoulder. I got a call. hmm That's how it's done. When you live spiritually, aka Maya, right thinking, oh, you're serving God. You need to know that. Why? Because you're gonna wonder why all of a sudden things are happening for me. Why all of a sudden this? Yeah, because if you live and doing and being right, you will be blessed. It didn't come to my mind till a long time after I figured it out. All right, my God experience changed my life around. I was born again with a new vision, a new concept, a new way of thinking, a new way of doing what I do. Yeah, yeah. I employed by God. I took the job. And my job is to teach any and every person who don't know about him. Simple. Alright? Right thinking, that's what I do. I have dedicated my life to teaching or enlightening those ignorant beings to themselves, aka God. Okay? That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Next one is talking to God, aka yourself. Yeah. If you understand that phrase, then you're on the right track. All right, watch this. When you reach Christ's hood, hmm Christians, horror hood, my Egyptians, aka know thyself, Nirvana, okay, to the Hindus, all that, whatever you want to call it, it's enlightenment. Nihas, same thing. It's all becoming conscious of God within you. Okay? I have been having a daily relationship with myself, aka God, ever since 2015. That ain't a long time, personally. I served the other guy a whole lot longer. I think I'm one of them guys that when God said, let him go. Let him go. Now we need him. Now I'm here doing what I do. Okay? When you talk to yourself, you're praying, and that's from the heart. The mind is thinking it, but the heart is receiving it. Why? Because that's where the information is stored anyway. Did you know that? Okay, another lesson. All right. When God is talking to you, being instructed, that's spiritual discipline. Doing what you know is right. Why? Because God's law is different than man's law. Spiritual discipline a little bit different than mental discipline. Mental discipline, you know the difference between right and wrong. Spiritual discipline, you're going to do what's right. Bingo. Okay? Next one is living spiritually is following God's instruction on a daily basis, aka right thinking, living, doing, and being right daily. That's all you gotta do. Preparing for the greatness, being your best self, knowing who you are, then you can live and be all you want to be. I just want to teach. I'm doing that. Thank you. Here you go. Next one is, what does God say when He talks to you? Oh, God. Well, Moses had the burning bush. Everybody had experience with God. Thought Moses saw him in a dream. They said the ancients say the Sphinx will come to you in a dream and talk to you. They did without Moses. He was buried up to his neck. He told him, you dig me out, I'll make you Pharaoh. He dug him out. He became Pharaoh. Okay? Another story. Here we go. God consciousness is being in direct contact with Him within yourself. Not saying, oh Lord, oh God, and look at someone else and asking right there. Okay? God is spirit and consciousness. Spirit is given. Consciousness is what you can adjust with your own brain. You got to think for yourself. You got to figure it out for yourself. You got to learn it, comprehend it, and use it for yourself. Everybody has that opportunity, okay? God is pure consciousness. You have to think to know God. That's why the ignorant person who's in the dark don't understand and comprehend God, which is light. That's knowledge. I'm just giving you knowledge of self. That means I'm teaching you about who you are, aka God. That's all I'm doing. All right? Excuse me. God is with you even when you don't know Him or ignorant of Him. He's still with you. Why? Because you have life. God's the life giver. Okay? Spirit that's in every human being is life. That's God. He gives you the opportunity to recognize Him and do what you need to do. If not, back in line, reincarnation. Here you go. Another concept. God speaks to those who listen. Still yourself, and like they tell you, know that I am God. If you run around here all distracted, all befuddled, you'll never hear God's voice. Still yourself, step down off your little horse, sit down, and go inside yourself with what I call meditation time. That's communing with God, if you didn't know. All right, here you go. Next one is, I gotta move this up. Let's see, my time is kicking. All right, here you go. God is that spiritual voice, that gut, that instinct, that whatever you want to call it, but yeah, that inner you, that if you listen to it, you work it out. If you don't listen to it, you don't end up in a good place. That voice. All right. My inner voice is of God. When you become spiritually enlightened, you will understand that, you would adhere to the inner voice, and you will be fine. This is God's plan, homie, not mine. I'm just doing what I'm instructed to do spiritually. I'm just bringing it to light. Here you go. Spiritual knowledge, spiritual enlightenment, spiritual enlightened ones, right thinkers, hear God's voice daily. And adhere to it daily. I know that's what I do. That's where it comes from. I don't plan this, all right? I look to hear that voice from within myself daily. Now it's a way of life. I live for that. It drives me, all right? Why I'm in Patterson trying to change this town from being the worst place in the country, it ain't my doing, but God. That's another God experience. I got to tell you. There you go. Being spiritual means you live by that voice inside. God. Let your conscience be your God. God is pure consciousness. God is pure love. God is true. All these additives just display God is true. They right. You just gotta figure out one works for you. Okay? If you don't have conversation or have a conversation with God, you're not spiritual. You should be dead. If you can't communicate with your spirituality, with your spiritual self, you're just as good as dead. Okay? Conceptually. Ain't no life there. Why? You ignorant to God. You just going through the motions. It's not good. Here we go. Wrapping it up for you. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, here we go. When you know God, you're a right thinker. My goal is to get you to at least know yourself. Everything else you can take care of. But know what it takes to know who you are. Watch this. I see a lot of people claiming to know God, love God, but they not living godly. Your mouth, that tongue, a snake got two tongues, okay? And two penises too. He can do you twice. But the idea is you can say what you want out your mouth, but they question you at judgment day. All they want to know is what? Your deeds. They don't want to know what you said. They can care less about that. Let me check that heart out. See what you really about. That's where the truth lies. Okay? That's why. If you know God for yourself, you would be serving God yourself. I'm just saying. I'm a servant. I'm a warrior. I'm a go-getter for God. You can say what you want, think what you want. I really don't care. But that's what I believe. That's what I do. Simple as that. You have your beliefs. I got mine. I live mine. How you faring with yours? All right, here you go. I'm not the God police, but I would like to lock up a bunch of you fakers. That ain't my call, so I had to let you be. But it's up to me. Yeah, I have all y'all locked up. Perpetrating God followers. That's a should be a law. Yeah, it's called Pinocchio theory. Right? You faking God out, your nose will grow. Same thing with the funk. It don't change. Here you go. Yes, I take what I do in God's name, right thinking, philosophical points of view, very serious. It's God based. It's not religious. No, it's God based. It's a spiritual thing with knowledge, not a bunch of superstitious mumble jumble rigmarole. No, simple, pure, unadulterated knowledge and understanding. That's the best way I can give it to you. That's all I know. Last one. Right thinking is serving God daily in every way, in every aspect of your life. Well, my life, how about that? But if you're going to serve Him 24/7, 365. Not when it's convenient, not when you need something, not because it's a holiday. Serve Him just because. And if you ever look at what He do for you, you will praise Him and understand what I'm saying. If you got an issue or a different concept about God or worshiping, serving, and praising Him, that's a you issue, not mine. I serve Him the way I do, right thinking's way. You can do it too.